Helen, there she is in spotlight. Helen, and it's all yours. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shauna. Thank you. Namaste. Welcome. So good to be here back in the sanctuary. It feels like a long time with traveling and retreats that since I could be here, and I miss you guys. It's nice to be back. So thank you for having me as always. We are really lucky to have this kind of community to share these successes and challenges along this greatest of pathways, this no path or pathless path to the deep recognition of who we really are, the experiential recognition of who we are beyond any belief or doubt into certainty of who we are. And that is so much easier when we can do it together in community like this. And it's not something I had when I was waking up, mainly because of my own sense of unworthiness and desperate need to isolate myself in case anyone found out who I thought I was not good enough. And it just makes it all the more special that we can all be here together like this and just celebrating and immersing ourselves in the truth of who we are already. And the recognition of who we are is the most natural thing on this planet. As natural as breathing, it's inevitable because we are already what we're seeking. And so there's no way to fail at this awakening, which is really good news. There's plenty of ways I found to delay it, but not to stop it. And when we gather together, we see much more clearly from sharing our challenges and our celebrations, the fastest and simplest way to recognize who we already are. So I thought I would just dive straight in and see if anyone has any questions or anything they'd like to chat about with awakening, any problems you're having or any questions you might have. We have some time. If anyone would like to ask anything, feel free to either put your hand up here or just go ahead and unmute yourself and let's see what's going on with you guys. Keith, sorry.
Hello.
Hi.
I've never met you before, so
nice to meet you.
It would be nice to say hello. Yes, I don't know. I've been working with another teacher for a couple of years, but I don't seem to have been able to. I still seem to not be there yet. Wherever there is,
yeah,
it all feels like it's not here. It's out there somewhere. I don't know.
So let's explore if you want to.
Like twist your nose and make it change.
Yeah, if I had a magic wand, maybe. But
yeah.
What have you been exploring? Have you been sort of looking into who you are directly?
Well, yeah, I never seem to know where to go with that. Like, who am I? Like, or who you really are. I listened to your teaching about who you really are, but I kind of get lost trying to look. I guess I don't find it, but then my mind says, "So what? What does that mean?" Like, I don't know.
We could take a look if you want. We've got some space to explore if you feel.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's have a look then for you. What do you find when you look for you? And there's no right or wrong answer here at all. We're just exploring together.
The initial thought is always the body and the mind,
Yeah, absolutely.
Physical body.
Yeah, the body is here and the thoughts, anything else that you find?
I mean, there's a sense of aliveness, a sense of being, a sense of, I don't know, a sense of something I have a sense of something that's always there.
Yeah.
something infinite.
Can you tell me anything about this? Well, you use the word being. Let's go with that just for now, if that's okay.
Mm.
Being. Can you tell me anything about this being? Is it something that you can grasp or see or?
No, it feels like a sensation in my chest, almost like and it spreads out. I guess there are no real limits to it. It spreads out into the infinite, but it feels like a sensation in my body when I look for it. It feels like a sensing in my body.
Yeah, wonderful. You're doing great. So when you look for yourself, this being, there's also a sensation that comes in the chest as well.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also happening inside this beingness, right?
Right.
Yeah, like the body, like the
Mhm.
mind. Yeah.
Yes.
And looking for the being itself, you said it spreads out into infinity. Yeah.
Feels like a field somehow. Yeah, like an infinite
Yeah.
field. And so,
Wonderful, wonderful. And is it always been here, this field, this being?
well, I guess it must have been. I guess that's not the same as saying it was. I mean, I guess
We
because
can,
it was saying like it must have been must have been there when I was 5 or 10 or 20 years old. I just wasn't really paying attention to it, I
yeah,
guess.
yeah. We're all taught to pay attention to forms, right? Thoughts and all of that, bodies.
Yes,
And
yes.
that's fine. We're just bringing attention to it now. And is it a form or is it something formless, this being?
Well, I guess it doesn't have a form in the sense that I can see it or touch it or anything.
Yeah.
I'm sensing it. So does that give it form? I feel like I'm
You
sensing.
you know it's here. You know that you are here as beingness, right? But it's not something you can see with your eyes or pick up
it.
with your hands. Yeah. And do you this beingness itself, does it need a human body to exist, this beingness? And again, with inquiry like this, it's okay if we can't answer these questions. Just looking
I feel like
gently.
I feel like I'm looking because I feel like I know what the right answer is.
So yeah, and
Yeah.
then the right answer, the mind knows that, but we're just exploring. Let's see if we can actually see it like directly. Does the beingness need anything to support its existence? And just sitting with this question, even sometimes answers aren't that important, just sitting with it.
Hmm.
What does the beingness need to survive?
Well, I don't know. Nothing, probably. Yeah, I mean, if my body died, would it still be there? That's
Hmm. Let's take a look at that. It's the beingness that you are is using that body, right, to express itself right
yeah.
now.
Yes, yes.
Just like it's using this body also.
Right.
But does it need the body? Is it here before the body or after the body?
See, there again, it's hard to answer without my going to my mind saying, well, it must be there before and after. I know that's the right answer. Because
Let the mind say its answer, that's fine. And then we can still look, we don't have to get rid of the mind. We can still look and just see. If it's not a form, if it's something that's more intangible and um, is it here still when our form goes? Just sitting with this question. Again, not needing a right answer or anything, just exploring that. How did your body feel when you explore that question?
feel like a zone out sort of thing.
So that's,
The
in
question.
a way, that's a kind of answer, right? When I actually start to look into what I am, this beingness, there's a kind of a letting go that automatically happens.
Yes.
And maybe that's an even better answer than having an epiphany or having um, a mind telling us something, that the more I look into who I am, just looking, not even finding any answers, my body starts to say, yeah, that's really nice. I like that. Let's, like, even the process of asking is doing something, even before any answers. Can you kind of feel it? Something's just kind of open and lighter.
Yes.
So just exploring like this. Sorry, you were going to say something.
Well, yeah, no, it feels lighter, but I haven't had that. I've always been, ever since I read Eckhart Tolle, I've been wanting that big transcending experience. Like, yeah, like, oh, I want to see the world differently.
I've never met a single person who it happened that way with.
Yes.
For me, it was asking like this and looking and exploring and little by little. And then suddenly, at some point, there was a realization that I just know that this is what I am beyond all doubt. But it was by asking and asking like this.
So yeah, I guess my mind is looking for a practice to keep going.
Yeah, and let's explore a little bit this beingness. Is there a person called Keith in it? Can you find a person just in the beingness itself now, looking at the beingness? Is there someone popping up inside it, a person?
There again, I know the answer is no, but can I, because I've heard that for so many times, so there's no such thing as a Keith, but can I really know that myself?
Let's search in the beingness, because when I asked you for what you were, this is one of the things you gave me. You said this kind of beingness. So let's just searching the beingness, inside the beingness. Is there anything there at all inside that being?
No, I don't think so. No, no.
And that's coming from your direct seeing. Right now, you're checking and seeing, and it comes with a power. Did you feel it? An authority of truth. It's true.
I guess I didn't feel it, but yeah, I feel like my mind is like saying, "Oh, yes, that's the right answer."
Well, mind will always have the
Mind.
last word, right? It's okay. It's okay. So just as we looked like this, we found the beingness and we checked inside it. There was no person. There's still a body and thoughts and all of that, but no person. This is what we find. Every time we look for you, we find this beingness.
Yes.
And just this thing that we've done here, like this, if you do this again and again and again,
Right.
something is switching over in this. Slowly at first, little bit by little bit. Our capacity to believe we're the ones seeking beingness is falling away. And the more the realization is deepening, there's just beingness already.
Say that again. So there's like like what you said, seeking beingness.
Yeah. Our default setting is I'm the one that's got to get to the beingness,
Yeah.
right? But as we look and we don't find that person, we just find beingness and a body. Then in the looking and not finding a person, it's becoming clearer a little bit more each time. So the first time I looked, it was like I was 5% convinced. And then next time I looked, I was 10% convinced I'm not a person. I just kept looking and looking until somehow I reached 100%. It's like there's never been a person. I've always been the beingness. Just by looking and
Who is it when
exploring.
you look in the mirror? Like what is it that you see when you look in the mirror or look on the screen for that matter?
There's a body, obviously,
Mm.
but there's nobody in it. There's only beingness looking through it. There's nobody camped out in here. Much to my surprise,
Little,
I found there was nobody squatting in here, you know?
a little tent and a campfire. I can see it now.
Making a real mess in there, right? Yeah. I think we've all had that running around making a mess. But it was just thoughts about a person. thoughts that said my life. And it was such a relief to find out that there never was anyone and there's no mess to clean up in that way.
Funny.
We can have a laugh with this, right? Otherwise, what's the point of all of this? Yeah.
I think this is great. Thank you.
But just exploring like this every time when you feel the urge, just looking and seeing what you can find. Just the looking itself, not even having to find the answer, but just the looking is really powerful, right? Can you get a sense of it?
Yeah, it was just trying to avoid the mind coming in and saying you're not doing it right, or you're not haven't had that experience yet, or
But
and
as you
turn the
see,
mind off.
but you just had this experience. You
Yeah,
experienced
yeah.
yourself as beingness, and you didn't find a person. That's the exact same experience as I'm having. And the mind, um, you know, to be honest, it doesn't know what it's talking about in the nicest way possible. Can the mind actually see this beingness? Can it perceive this beingness?
No,
So
makes me
it's
say,
always
sounds like what
going
my dad used to say. You don't know what you're talking about.
yeah, yeah. So if I was still listening to my mind, it would still be telling me, "You're making this up, Hamilton. Shut up," you know? But it's just not so relevant anymore. It's not wrong. I'm not making it wrong. It's just not really relevant because it's a finite, limited mind.
But do you still have a mind talking to you like that sometimes?
Every now and again, it says
Ah,
something really hilarious, which used to be terrible. You know, it used to
right.
be,
But you
but
don't have to attach to it anymore, I guess, and think, oh shit.
no, I can't believe it now. Just by looking like we've done, the identity switches over. I am the beingness. I am that place I've been trying to get to. It's only because we still are not 100% convinced that we are listening to the mind. We think it's talking to us, this imaginary person that's. But how could it possibly affect you, the mind, if you are the beingness itself? You are that from which mind arises, right? All thoughts come out of you. So
Mm.
as you keep looking, exploring in this kind of direct way, every time you look and don't find a person, you're a little bit less able to go back to thoughts.
Mm.
One day you'll just find it doesn't matter what the mind says, it doesn't have any effect on me.
Thank you so much.
Well,
Thank you.
thank you for having some fun with me. It was great.
Oh, it's lovely. Thank you, Helen.
Thank you.
Such an honor to meet you too. Lovely. Thank you.
Oh, nice to meet you. Thank you. Wonderful. We'll go to Lisa. Tyler.
Oh my. So wonderful to speak directly with you.
Oh, thank you. It's lovely to talk to you directly.
Yes, we've discussed on WhatsApp, and I think I had trouble. I mean, who had trouble? Nobody really had trouble. There was a difficulty communicating, it seemed,
It's
and that
okay.
was fine. It was actually a gift in a way. It was like, oh, okay, I'm not clear because I'm not clear.
Yeah.
So here I am. I enjoyed listening to Keith, and so the bit of hang up, and I'm not sure if it is because I noticed that doubt wants to try to infect the peace and joy that largely feels established. But
Mhm.
yeah, I want to leave no stone unturned. And
I
the
love it. I
question
love it.
of,
Yeah.
yeah,
Let's turn them
yeah,
all
when
over.
you love the truth, you can't do anything but that, right? As you well know and speak.
Total transformation inside out, right? Yeah.
Totally, exactly. And sometimes that inside's a little bit hairy.
Yeah. You turn over the stone and there's like a, a spider or something crawls out from
Exactly.
underneath.
It's like, whoa, didn't know that was there.
Yeah.
Right.
Woo.
But the question around when you, how do you know, what are you using to see
Mhm.
the, let's say, emptiness? For me, it's always been a very clear avenue. Emptiness is what generally is the result of the looking. So
Yeah.
and then the question of how are you doing that exactly was sort of where it got sticky. I'm
Yeah,
not
we
sure if
can
it's sticky or
explore
not.
that.
So I thought I'd just give you carte blanche to dig around in the corners with a really sharp stick if you need.
Let's don't tempt me. No, let's go
I
to
mean, like, take it all, give me all you got because I'm
okay.
really interested in the truth.
So let's go to the direct experience of that emptiness now. Then let's see what do you find when you look for yourself.
It's just, it's almost unspeakable, I guess.
Mhm.
It's very, very empty, but not scary. I've never
Mm.
so far been afraid of it at all. I kind of, just want to fall into it, if you will. Yeah.
Can you find a person in it? Can you find Lisa as a someone, as an object?
No, that illusion seems to have left me a bit ago, thankfully. There's
So
no,
can you fall into it then?
oh yeah, that's a good point.
We've like 100,000 subtle ways to
Yeah,
reinvent ourselves as a separate self, and I'm sure I've done them all as well. Yeah.
beautiful, yeah.
There's just this emptiness that you are, right? And are you looking at the emptiness or from it?
Uh,
Your time with the question. Just let the question play inside. It's not the necessarily even the goal to get the answer. We're just am I looking at it or from it?
it feels like both in a way. It doesn't feel specific at all.
Let's go.
There's a real sense of presence. It's like from the presence that so there's a presence inside the emptiness, but it's not, well, I say it's not two things, but maybe I am sensing it as two things. I don't know.
Well, let's really look. Is presence different to emptiness? Can you find where presence stops and emptiness starts?
Again, let's see. Could you ask me the question again?
Yeah. Can you find where the presence stops and the emptiness starts? Because if they're two different things, it would have to be there'd be some meeting point. If you kind of really look, can you find?
No, not at all. It's yeah. It's like two words for the same thing.
Yeah. Then it's totally okay. Sometimes it might feel more like presence, sometimes more like emptiness, sometimes more like love. It's got, even though it's got no qualities at all, it's got kind of many moods as well, right? Somehow.
Yeah, you read my mind there because that was exactly the next thing I was going to say. Sometimes it feels more like one than the other.
Yeah. So are you looking at it or from emptiness?
Yeah, the mind kind of wants to get in here and have some ideas, but none of them complete themselves.
The question is a game stopper, isn't it?
It
The
is.
question is, it cuts off the flow of energy to the mind because as we actually just look, can I prove that I'm separate to this emptiness? Can I actually stand up and defend that idea that I'm looking at it?
No, I can't because the I and the emptiness, that's not happening. It's like it's not, yeah, that's not it.
So where are you looking from then? Where are you looking from? Just
Yeah,
let's sit with this
well,
question.
I don't know why this feels sticky.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Every sage has had this, right? We're just feeling into where there's we've not quite we might be 100% convinced emptiness is formless. We might be 100% convinced it isn't coming and going, but we're just maybe 75% convinced that we're looking from it. And that's all that the body's telling you. The body's just saying, we could just do a little more checking here. That's all, right? If you don't resist that feeling, it starts to shift, right? So we're just thanking the body for giving us such good feedback. We want to be as convinced as the sages are. So this is what they did. They just looked and looked. Where are you looking from then? Are you looking from the emptiness or from the person?
Yeah, I'm totally looking from the emptiness. I don't even when you said that, are you looking from the person? It's like, what? That all of a sudden it was like, whoa, no way. But the thing is, I can't tell you how that's happening.
Maybe we could say it's self-aware. It's not only emptiness, it's another name we could use is awareness, right?
Sure.
It's formless sentience, intelligence, seeingness.
Knowing itself, and that was another spot where I felt a little sticky, and I started to use that weird analogy of, okay, in order to try to give it some kind of a context, and just stop me if this sounds crazy or is getting too elaborate, but this idea of in the relative sense, okay, let's go back to being a relative person. Maybe we can do that. And when I look in the mirror, I can say, oh, I know who that reflection is. That's a person named Lisa. I know that. How do I know it? I just do.
Well, it's your direct experience. You're seeing it, right? You're seeing it in the moment. It's provable inside yourself. And that's what we're doing here with this.
And that was because that was the way I tried to figure out, how can I work this out? I gave myself an example like that in the relative sense. I said, okay, is that what's happening here? I just know it. And yes.
Let's do a little experiment. Let's ask the same question again. Are you looking from or at this emptiness that you are?
All of a sudden it just feels like the same thing. Like there's nothing.
So can
it
you
all
feel
feels mixed together?
Yeah. Can you feel that this time when I asked you, there was even more certainty in the answer? If I ask you again, if we did this 10 times here, each time there'd be a little more certainty, kind of switching up to, to 80% and then 85. It just, like we were doing with Keith, just looking every single time, it's just more and more obvious. And you suddenly end up at like where the sages are, where it's just so obvious. It's like, how did I ever miss this? How did I ever not get this? So we have to start at zero, we're almost there, right? You can feel.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I don't know if that's the right answer. It's like again, it's like it doesn't really matter, which was the way this whole kind of conversation started out when I said I don't really know how, and it doesn't really matter, and that's what started.
Let's explore just a little bit on the how.
Okay.
Can you see this emptiness with your senses, your eyes? Can you touch it with your hands?
No.
Any smell or taste to it?
No. But again, there's some sort of like signature in a way.
Oh, yeah. It leaves a signature on the body. That's a lovely way to describe it. It leaves a very nice feeling. But that's its mirror image. That's its perfume, right?
Yes.
And that's fine. We can enjoy that. But we just want to be really clear how we're perceiving it, right? How are we seeing this emptiness? Are you using your mind then to perceive emptiness?
No. As a matter of fact, the mind doesn't seem to be able to come up with anything coherent when the conversation about this happens.
Mind can only think about emptiness. It can't actually know it is here, right? The mind is a thinking machine. And it's also finite and limited. It's in one place, appearing in one place inside the emptiness that you are. So you couldn't really see all of it at once, right? Like you're doing now.
Yes.
So are we using any part of the body and mind then to perceive the emptiness?
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, this full immersion that can happen when walking in nature, it's like the body, it just disappears in a way. I mean, the feet can still, the pressure of walking can still be noticed if attention
A
wants to move.
sensation, yeah, yeah. Just
But
like right now, there's a sensation of the body sitting on the chair.
right. But it's
But we're not using, the body gives us contrast. By having a object here, we can recognize that we're not an object by comparison, by contrast.
exactly.
So how do you know that emptiness is here then? And again, it's not even so much we have to put words to. Let's just ask this question and play. How do I know emptiness is what I am? How do I know that? How do I know it's here? Just playing with that question. You see, you don't even need an answer, right? The body is giving you an answer right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all pervasive. It's
The body is your truthometer, right? And it's going to tell you when you're heading further into illusion. It's telling you right now you're on the, the right track here.
it does give amazing feedback. I felt that earlier today talking to a friend who, anyway, she was just talking a lot about different things she's doing to be well. And I said, don't forget now that your mom's passed away and life is going to be so much simpler for you, that your body might get well by itself. Yeah. And as soon as I said that, my whole body flooded with this huge yes feeling, this huge, like,
beautiful.
Because I've loved your teachings about health and well-being. It's a difficult thing to talk about, especially people that are unwell, and you have to be anyway, but I've noticed that so much. The further down this not path that I walk, the better the body.
When we're asking this question, and it's something you can take into the next few days or as long as you want to explore it, we're asking this question, how am I recognizing emptiness then? You get to a point where you don't even need an answer because it feels so delicious to just ask the question, right? Yeah. And from there, the answer comes somehow, some way, it doesn't even matter. There's suddenly an epiphany quietly. It's because I am it. Only the infinite can see the infinite. But that's almost irrelevant then, because you're just having such a good time anyway, asking the question.
Yeah.
That's when you want to hang out, right?
Yes.
Wonderful. Wonderful exploration. Thank you so much. So lovely to talk to you.
Thank you for persistently digging around with me. Thank you so much.
Only because I've been there myself, I know what it's like. Thank you.
It's so nice. And thank you so much for all your teaching. I've really, it really has rocked my world, taken away a lot of little niggling remaining doubts and put me into a real trajectory to openness. I'm so grateful. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful. Mitra? There we go.
Hi, Helen. Sorry,
yeah.
I had trouble. I just wanted to ask about the subjectivity. I've been meditating on silence and stillness, and somehow my attention just goes back to this subjectivity. And I just want to make sure I understand it, because it's a kind of English is my second language, as you can say, and I never heard this teaching in my own language. So what I can say from my experience is there always has been this sense of I, you know.
Mhm.
This is the only thing I remember from childhood even, right? It's always been there. I don't know what it is. It's a mystery, but there is always a sense of I. So that's what that subjectivity means, right?
Yeah, there's an I. If we look for it, it's not a form. It's formless. It's not a subject. It's not a person. It's not a person experiencing, but there is experiencing happening, right? The I, another name for the sense of I could be experiencing or awareness or subjectivity, because it's sentience itself. It's alive and aware, and it's not an object at all.
Yes. I mean, it used to feel like before, it used to feel like it's the one that is aware, a person, but now it's all dissolving, you know, like I don't know what it is anymore.
But we can
That's
know,
where I am.
we can know that we are here as this, whatever this subjectivity is, this is what we are. And we can know that it's aware of itself somehow, right?
Yes.
We're not using anything else, as we were just talking with Lisa, we're not using anything else to perceive this I. It's
No.
perceiving itself somehow. Yeah.
Yes.
That's about the only two things we're certain of.
But isn't that so strange that that sense of I that feels very personal in me is the same sense of I in you?
Yeah, it was being so believed to be a subject, a person having an experience
Yeah.
of something else for so long that even when we have experience, it is substance-less, it is intangible. Out of habit, we just go back to putting it in a box again in our thoughts, you know,
Yeah.
person. But gradually that falls away as we do the inquiry and the contemplation and the meditation, just tuning into that again and again and again. There's just I-ness. It's not
Yeah.
a thing, right?
Yes. And for me, it's even, I can't even say I am, like I am for me, I don't know, maybe it's a language thing. I makes more sense than even, I know I am, but that's the mystery for me. I am so, you know, well, I am. That's obvious. Like there's no mystery for me to discover. But that it's so strange that I is operating in everyone.
Yeah. And in everyone, it thinks it's only operating in that body and mind, right?
Yes.
Which is kind of crazy when you look at it afterwards.
So much.
Mhm.
So what do I do with that? Like I hold it like an inquiry during the day or in my meditation, I just play with it, right?
Just yeah, in your meditation, just notice the subjectivity, the I-ness, and bring attention back when it wanders to a thought or something. In your inquiry, you can just explore, like we've done already here tonight. What is this I? Is it a thing? And is it a person? Is it? And just playing with these questions, try to find where it stops. Where does I stop and you start? You know, it's when we actually explore like that, can it stop if it's not a thing? If your body was sitting the other side of this room from this body, where would the I-ness of you stop and my I-ness begin? Is it even like that? Would there be any barrier or boundary? Just playing like this, it's fun to explore.
I do that in my inquiry, like there is no boundary with anything, but somehow I go back to that thing that if this I is in my son as well, then you know, it feels strange because he has his own thoughts and his word and everything, and I've got mine.
Is that true though, if it's the same I working through both bodies? Does he have his own world?
Well, in a way,
Having a separate experience to you? If there's
well,
one
he
being,
does, doesn't he? I mean, we don't really, can't say we know each other so much. You know what I'm saying?
if you are him, you don't know what particular thoughts are going through his head, fair enough, or sensations in the body. But there's no experience happening. There's no me as a separate being experiencing something else. There's just this beingness, this I-ness, this subjectivity, two bodies in it, wandering around having thoughts and feelings and all of that.
And there is one I operating in these two bodies, and we don't know much about each other.
When you start to really, really understand and get, like it's happening for you now, that I'm not experiencing him as separate, I am him, he is me, then there's a deep equanimity that comes, peace, and from that place some pretty cool things are possible. But it's one being, one I-ness, one pure subjectivity experiencing itself in an infinite number of individual ways, unique ways, you could say, not separate. Like the ocean, the ocean has an infinite number of waves on it. Each one seems different than the other, but they're not really separate, are they?
That's right.
Even
Okay.
on this meeting here now, this I-ness is experiencing its own awakening in however many ways.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Good to talk
Thank
to
you. Lots of love.
you. We'll go to Eliana.
Hi, Helen.
Hi, love.
I want to explore something with you because I'm just wondering whether I can make sense of what's happening. I feel like I have a vision, or clear vision at least, that I'm not a person.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like, yes, intellectually I understand, and experientially, as I look within, there is this spaciousness. There is nothing there that is tangible. But there is a fear that arises for me when there is a fear of being kind of this disembodied, not having the body to express.
Mm-hmm.
And it disturbs me because, why should this fear arise if I am completely certain that I am, imperishable?
Yeah. Is this fear arising for you, the imperishable one, or is it just some fear arising?
Well, it's right here as I talk to you. I just can feel it.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
this
just
sensation of fear in the body, that's okay, right? We're not in denial of anything. But what if this is happening to help you become even more convinced of who you are? What if this is your mind's way of saying, can you help me see something more clearly?
Yes, because often when the fear arises, I don't fight it.
Yeah.
I just allow it and embrace it. but
Let's
somehow
ask it what it wants to
yeah,
say. What is the fear about?
well, it's the fear of not having a body to express, that's because the body is a means of self-expression. So kind of being just this, I am, a being. Yes, I am here. I am a spaciousness. I don't have a tangible body, but the body is also here, and the absence of the body feels very frightening.
Is the body here right now? Let's explore that. Can you prove that there's a body present? Can you prove that this is a body? I know it's a really strange question, but
yeah, but how am I communicating with you if it's not via the body and the voice?
let's ask this question, what the body is. Can we prove it's here? Really, all we have as evidence that there's a body here are sensations, right? Sense perception.
Yes.
And sensations like you're sitting on whatever you're sitting, you can feel it, right? You can feel the air on your face and all of those. We could list them all, but
yes.
do we actually know it's a body? Have we ever experienced a body, or is it just sensations that we've experienced?
Yeah, sensations. Then I can, experience this sensation of fear right here as I'm having this conversation with you.
Yeah.
And that there is a discomfort, there is a sensation of fear. There is this trembling and all the rest.
Let's
that goes with it.
explore. If the fear is that you can be disembodied and not have any means of expression, let's explore that and see if it's true. Before the body goes, let's be certain of this, right? Let's have this resolved. If you want to, we can look. So going to the spaciousness itself that you are, let's experience that together right now. And let's ask, does the spaciousness need a body to express itself? It seems like it, but let's ask this question anyway. Do you, the spaciousness, do you need a body-mind to express yourself?
The mind says yes. Otherwise, how would that express?
Yeah, and that's a mind answer. It's okay. But we could stay with this question anyway.
Mm.
And where is the spaciousness? How big are you?
Well, it's there are no boundaries, obviously. No, I can't determine
So
any
how many
boundaries.
bodies do you have right now then? How many forms do you, the spaciousness, have? How many are you appearing as right now?
Well, it feels as if I'm expressing through the one that is here.
So can you see that this fear is not because of what the mind is saying? The fear is because you think you're only expressing through one body and mind. Can you prove that? If you're absolutely everywhere, there's no boundaries, no edges, mustn't all bodies be yours?
Well, I think this tie up with the conversation you have with the previous person, where
There seems to
the
be a
I,
theme running through this tonight.
the I is expressing through all bodies. Is the same I, is the same presence, is the same being expressing through
Can you
several
see that?
bodies.
We in our inquiry, we see that we're omnipresent, that we're everywhere. But then to have this problem here, this fear, you have to be just somewhere, one person, one body mind. Right now,
Right.
as we're talking, there are bodies being born and dying inside you all the time, right? Coming and going endlessly. other forms, shapes, insects, plants, animals, constantly coming and going inside you. And this problem, this fear needs the belief that there's only one body that you're expressing through. And when we actually look, we can't hold on to that. There's an infinite number of ways you're expressing yourself right now. And as this goes deeper, as you keep looking like this, you can actually get to a point where you might not even notice when the body goes, because there's just so many other bodies and forms. Doesn't mean we don't love the body and value it. But can you see that this is a problem for a separate being, a person?
Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm not asking you to ignore the fear, but just to keep in your inquiry each day, just to keep asking and seeing if this is a real problem for you, the spaciousness. Can you ever be
Yes.
embodied or disembodied even?
Yes, I think this fear of death and dying is something that became more critical now, because obviously, I am not as young as perhaps most of the people here on this call.
I do disagree with you that if we ask the age of everyone on this call, you'd have to begin to identify with all of them,
Yes.
right? Can you see
Yes.
you've
No.
got
What
back to
I'm saying, what I think, what I'm trying to say is because there is a sense of urgency. It's kind of,
I
there
get
is a
that.
sense of urgency now, and I don't want to die in fear.
I totally understand that. That's the only reason I'm sitting in this chair. It was because it was all driven by fear of death, and I had to prove to myself that I couldn't die and that I wasn't affected by the body dying before it happened, right? I was not going to leave it to chance. So I'm right there with you. So just asking over the next few days, if this is a problem for you, the spaciousness, can you die? Are you affected when anybody dies, any human body dies or is born? Are you embodied or disembodied, or do neither of those apply to you? If you're not an object, you never poured yourself into a body, and you never actually come out in the way that we think.
Mhm.
Really,
Yes,
things
because
are just appearing inside you the whole time, coming and going, and you're just watching,
mm,
looking through the
the-
bodies like a pair of binoculars and having a sensory experience, but not in them, really, not in the way that the mind thinks.
yeah, I'm actually, I think the inquiry is tremendously helpful, but when the emotion hits, it just kind of completely, I lose completely,
That's
almost, clarity.
It's normal.
Uh,
So don't try to inquire anything when it's really surging, right? Wait till it's passed a little bit and you've got a little clarity back, and then inquire in those quieter moments. Totally the best way to do it. We can't even remember what we're supposed to be doing when the fear is so strong, right? We've lost seemingly in that moment everything that we know, that we've learned in satsang. So just waiting till the intensity of it's passed, and then in those calmer moments we can begin to inquire again.
yes, and I was just wondering, if really it comes a point where I'm completely certain, then does fear still arise?
No. Every now and again, there might be a little flutter of a sensation for me that we could call fear. It's in the body, it pops up, but it's totally allowed and it disappears within a few seconds. There's no capacity to identify with it, and it's recognized to just be an old pocket of something of how I used to think about myself. And even if it's there, it's enveloped in this equanimity and peace, and there's no capacity to suffer, and it's realized to be something that's coming up to help me go even deeper, right? It's a very different experience. There's no suffering possible at all from there.
Oh,
So just staying with this question, right? If you do the same things I did, you'll get the same results. And this is exactly everything that we've been doing here in this session is exactly what I did to see clearly beyond any doubt. Because that's what we all want, right? We want no doubt, none at all. We want to absolutely know with certainty.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much for staying with me and, helping me to stay with the question. I so appreciate it.
Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you. What time are we on? We're almost up to time, unfortunately. And sadly, we are out of time. So 2 minutes, really. Ross, can we go really quick? Can you do 2 minutes? Sorry.
Yeah, I did. Hello, Helen. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, it wasn't really a sort of direct question anyway. It was more just so I'm really new to this, like very new. Like I've only been meditating for about a month, maybe just over a month.
Perfect.
And I'm
You've got a head start on everyone else then that thinks they've been on this path a long time.
well,
I'm not joking. I'm really serious. Yeah. Anyway,
it's
sorry.
just no. All it was just an observation, really, that during meditation, I'm connecting with the awareness, and what I'm finding is that I'm bringing that into the everyday parts of my life. I find it the most difficult to connect with when I'm in moments of stress, which is basically what you were just talking about with the previous with Eliana. So yeah, it was much as a comment really, and I'm just trusting in the process and knowing that
in those moments when there's a lot of stress going on, can you notice that you're aware of it, that you see it? Something knows that the body is very discontented.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's who you are. That which is in sometimes the contrast of the body feeling very contracted can help us see that there's something seeing, something that knows about you. It might not come with the wonderful feeling of it does sometimes, but there's still just a recognition of something is aware of this, right? Something knows.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, just a comment really, but
yeah,
it's quite exciting. It's it's crazy, but yeah, it's exciting. Love it.
Yeah, straight down the rabbit hole, right?
Yeah,
Wonderful.
Best place to go. Thank
yeah,
you.
the best place where all the cool kids are.
Yeah.
Lovely to meet you.
Thank you too. Thank you.
I will hand it back to you, Shauna. Sorry we didn't get time for everyone today. But thank you so much. It's been wonderful exploration, and your intelligent questions are always amazing, and your courage to explore. So thank you. Thank you, Shauna.